Alrighty. Speaking of this one right here, you got Pac-Man, with the ground up, especially with Pac-Man coming into it, and the Pac-Man with the ground up, and you just got Pac-Man, especially with him coming around and every other thing, coming into it, with these, and especially with Pac-Man, because he has a decent amount of, you know, pickup, pickup music, and everything else, especially with the whole thing, but you got from the ground up, especially from what I'm seeing, everything that I'm seeing right here, especially with this whole everything up, ground up, and everything that I'm seeing right here from just from a from a factorist, factorist, but with everything else, and especially from the Pac-Man and you know how he just comes around with these corner fists, but you got with Pac-Man.
I built this from the ground up. I built this from the ground up. It's the return of the legend again. I'll make everyone remember my name. Let's take a trip down memory lane. My life's been a movie, now I'm selling this pain. Everyone.
Ooh, let's take a trip to a memory lane. My life been a movie. Hey, my life been a movie. Hey, let's take a trip to memory of the lane, and everything else. My life was a movie. Especially how life is so consuming too. Like they say, take life as a don't take life as a joke. Take life serious, because everything you do is like it's counted on you. Like like it could be another way around something else, and especially how he's already putting it through, and has this whole thing. It's like he's tossing it, he's letting us, he's putting us through the whole centuries, but with this whole thing already fabulous, and
Return of the legend again. I'll make everyone remember my name. Let's take a trip down memory lane. My life's been a movie, now I'm selling this pain. Cause I'm sick and tired of selling this cane.
ooh, I'm selling this pain. I'm sick and tired of selling this cane.
Tired of selling this cane. Young G turned the 8th into 40,000. Then I turned Protects into water fountains. Nana went Pakistan and he saw the mountains. Then I walked in the kitchen and I saw the mountains. Rappers mad liars, all my tracks fire. Never had our stacks wired, we were cash buyers. Don't you know I risk years just to sit here? Don't you know I'm Ric Flair with this wristwear? Don't you know this is UK rap's finest? Took losses and I always came back.
Ooh, let him know. Hey, this is hey, he's the finest coming into the whole thing and everything else. Like, hey, he's putting this centuries, like he say, he's holding it down. He putting the he putting the stacks for his thing. Especially when you holding it down, you one of the lastest, the lastest prophet of the whole tower and everything else. You putting those whole things. You the last of the static. They have, like, you the best one that they got. The whole thing. But hey, he put in his, hey, this whole thing. How it's already cooping and everything else. Little. I like the whole thing. I like the lyrics and all those commercials.
Back shining, never once did you ever come back sliding. Money in the bank rising like gang violence. I built this from the ground up. The label couldn't clown us. Remember being down broke. Showed that girl 100,000 and told her count up. I built this from the ground up. The label couldn't clown us. Remember being down broke. Showed that girl 100,000 and told her count up. Allah have mercy on my grandfather's soul, please. Tears in my eyes while I'm praying on both knees. Seen people hide their pain with liquor, others smoke weed. Neither helps you proceed. I wasn't getting no sleep, no. Hide their pain with liquor, others smoke. On my grandfather's soul, please. Tears in my eyes while I'm praying on both knees. Seen people hide their pain with liquor, others smoke weed. Neither helps you proceed. I wasn't getting no sleep, no pain worse than death. No last words are left. Cold heart, this world's a mess. Go harder, work for less. Stuck.
Ooh, cold hearted, this world's a mess. Cold hearted, this world's a mess. No sleep. steady, thinking about the things, especially people taking their pain away too, from different things, even people not showing it like, hey, the whole thing and the whole, procedure, like, hey, he's putting the whole thing to it, like, hey, that's what's really going on here. Like, people won't show you it, never know what's going on behind, closed doors, behind, closed, after that, after something, potential closes, because it's like everyone has their own type of, lifestyle of different, different things going on, especially different equalizes.
In the game, go clean up your dirty bread. Cane isn't worth the stretch. Sit back, observe, reflect. Learn to be courteous. Even though I grew up round trap stars and murderers. Mum's in her 60s and her crib's getting searched by feds. Thinking about it hurts my head. Still buying dinners and hammers in your 30s stress. Swings and roundabouts. Things put down in south. How could you count me out? $250,000, count it out. I'm a real powerhouse. You're looking like a coward now. You see how I dress, how I flex. Tell me how I sound. Tell me. I built this from the ground up. The label couldn't clown us. Remember being down broke. Showed that girl 100,000 and told her count up. I built this from the ground up. The label couldn't clown us. Remember being down broke. Showed that girl 100,000 and told her count up.
Hey, coming into this one though, right here, the ground up and everything else, like especially with Pac-Man, he just let us know, like he was letting us know what really going on, like versus the whole thing versus him, versus whatever, whatever's against him, equalize and everything. But especially with this whole thing, like I didn't even see this one coming the way he was like putting his whole thing towards it, like his whole everything else, especially with Pac-Man and everything else. But shout out to him, because he was really, putting in courses, and shout out to everything else, all the producers out there, that put the income and everything else, especially with the Pac-Man, the ground up. And this one coming into it, with this whole thing and this whole, of this one was like a balance of everything, letting us really know what's control going on, with everything else. But this one coming into it right here and everything else. But with this whole thing, him putting this whole, invents onto it, but everything else.